What's up, guys? Specstar here today with my co-host Shadow the Chihuahua, here to commentate my second battle of the NPL tournament, and I'm going up here against Will. And for those of you who have not been following the channel that long, Will is my mortal nemesis, and in this battle I will settle for nothing less than his head on a platter. It is not enough to defeat him, I must murder him in combat. So, with that being said, he's got a team here consisting of Talon-F, Tapu Fini, Mamoswine, Mew, Mega Kangaskhan, and Cobalion, with either Cobalion or Talon-F being Z-able. And I have a team builder video, I should have the link in the description of this, but a quick recap is I have Banded Crocodile, Air Balloon, Rocks, Heatran, Rocky Helmet, Sticky Hold Gastrodon, a Speedy HP Mega Venusaur, Choice Specs Keldeo, and Dragonium Z Draco Meteor Latios. So, my plan was always to lead off with Crocodile for this. I thought his most likely lead was Mamoswine, and I had the potential to bait it with one of the few Crocodile sets that actually does beat Mamoswine. So, with that being said, I am going to make the lead, and he will lead Mamoswine. So, I'm just going right for my superpower here on the Mamoswine. He does stay in, no sash, and we are able to take down the Mamoswine for a pretty solid turn 1. He then will bring out his Mew here, and of course I don't want to stay in on a Mew locked into my superpower. So, I'm going to switch out into my Latios here. And he is going to go for an Ice Beam. And he's going to show to have some special attack investment. Roosting up a little bit. I don't know exactly how much he has, but based on that damage and me not being able to roost up, it's probably not max, but it has to be a little bit. So I'm not able to roost up fully. I don't have a great bring in on Mew, especially if it is something like Earth Power, which it may well be, considering I have Heatran. I don't have a very great bring in on this, and it's really nice for me to be able to get the damage off on this thing, so I'm actually just going to go right for my Z Draco. And I will do a good amount of damage. It's going to look to be some kind of HP investment based on that. My Latios will go down, and I just want to bring in my Keldeo here. Based on how much damage the Z Draco did, I am going to find out that this Mew is almost definitely going to be in range of Hidden Power Grass from my Specs Keldeo, which means I can click it here, predicting the Tapu Fini to come out, which I think is most likely here, as it seems to be the obvious Keldeo answer on his team. He's going to go on a Tapu Fini, and let me talk to you guys about something that had me scratching my head for a little bit here. He's going to take the damage and show to be leftovers. But when I calced it, max special defense Tapu Fini took a minimum of 34.4, and that did 34. So I couldn't figure out why a max special defense, max HP Fini, it was taking more on the calc than this one took. But I'm just gonna go under the assumption that it is some sort of max special defense set, and that the calc's just screwing up. So here I'm just going to switch out to my Venusaur, which is my designated answer to that thing. He's going to make the prediction and go out into his Talon-F, which is going to prompt me to just go out into my Heatran, which is probably the most solid Talon-F counter in the world. There is absolutely nothing a Talon-F could ever do to beat a Heatran. Am I right, guys? So he's going to go out into the Mega Kangaskhan here. I'm just going to go out into my Rocky Helmet Gastrodon, since it has the Kangaskhan Kryptonite for its item. I'm going to recover up here as he goes for his return. And it's going to do a little bit too much, and unfortunately put me in... Well, there's a decent chance that the next one could take me out here. So I'm just going to recover up again, because it may well not if it does the amount of last time. He's going to go for a Wish. I just want to click Scald, because if I burn the thing, it's really not doing much to anything. It also stops him from passing to the Mew, which he is going to opt to do. So it is nice to take down the Mew. I was actually asked what Pokemon before the matchup scared me most, and Mew was the one. So it's definitely nice to see that thing go down. Next up here, he's going to bring in Cobalion. I'm just going to click an Earth Power on this thing. Heal Sword Stance. There's really not a great switch-in I have on this thing right now, because it'll probably do enough if I go into Venusaur right now. So I'm just gonna let my Gastron take a hit here. He goes for close combat. Fortunately, he is not the pummeling, and I'm gonna click Earth Power. Him not being pummeling does lead me to think he may well be a Flyinium on his Talonflame. So here he's gonna bring in Kangaskhan and go for a return. It's gonna get down to 50% and my Gastron will fall here. I'll bring in my Keldeo. I just wanted to click Surf in case he wanted to be a crazy guy and predict Hidden Power Grass, because you never know. So he will bring in his Tapu Fini, and again I'm just gonna go into my Venusaur, which is the switch-in on this Pokemon. So I imagine that Talonflame would be the switch-in here. And even if it's not, Fini does not appreciate Sludge Bombs very much, so that is what I'm going to go for. Hits Talonflame fairly hard and has the potential to poison it. Because, of course, flying, it's not protected by misty terrain. So I'll go for my Sludge Bomb here, do 51%, will not poison. I'm going to go out into my Heatran here, and he's going to roost up. So I'm just going to go for my rocks here, but he actually has the natural gift Ground, and he's going to catch my Heatran off guard there. And that's a pretty solid bring on his behalf. Overall, I'd say his prep was pretty solid for this game. It's definitely a tricky matchup with some complications on both sides, and he had some interesting sets. This one in particular caught me off guard at a very key point in the game. I was thinking that more likely than not this thing would probably be Sky Strike, but he does show off the natural gift and my Heatran's going to go down here. So I'm going to have to go into my Crocodile, which is the closest thing to an answer to this thing I have here. And I am just going to go for my Rock Tomb. He's going to go for a U-turn and bring in his Tapu Fini. And I'm going to go for my Rock Tomb here. I did consider going for... My Rock Tomb will miss here, by the way, but that's not really a big deal. I did consider going for a second Rock Tomb, just kind of playing on the choke. But I thought there was just not really a scenario where he'd want to risk Talonflame at this point. So I'm just going to make the safe routine play in a Venusaur. As we wait for the turn to catch up to me. I will go into the Venusaur here, and he actually did go back into the Flame, and it works out for him, but I feel like that was an unnecessary risk, if I'm being completely honest. But, you know, who am I to say? He is up right now. I'm going to bring in my Crocodile again, and I'm going to switch out into Keldeo because Crocodile can't take that many U-turns. I'm just playing from behind right now. He goes on a Tapu Fini. Of course, I can't switch in on this thing, so I'm just going to go for Hidden Power Grass and try to score it to a KO on it. He's going to go for Moonblast, and he's going to drop my special attack, so it's definitely not to a KOing now. As I'll just go for another Hidden Power Grass as he goes out into Kangaskhan. Not quite doing enough there. I just have to go into my Crocodile here, and I have to make the play for... You know what, I'm just playing on a choke right there. There's not that much I can really do. He's going to take down my Crocodile, and then all that's left is going Keldeo and clicking Surf to try to preserve some differential here. We'll be able to survive Sucker. We'll be able to take it down, but we'll not be able to survive the next attack, so unfortunately I'm going to fall to 1+1 here. Definitely GG to my opponent. He had a pretty solid prep, as I mentioned, and he was able to catch me off at a key point with his natural gift Talonflame, so all the props to him. If you guys want to check out his channel, I'll have a link to that in the description as well. I want to thank you guys for watching this, and have yourselves a good night.